And we are live. Panthers Nation, how we feeling? How we feeling, D?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling like it's about to be 7-4.
It feels like, hey, I knew all along. That's why I picked them to win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we never lost hope. Okay, we always believed. All right, that's why I'm rocking the Panthers blue for just for you guys, just for you guys. All right. Omar Tillman was here early. As soon as I scheduled this, says Rico and the defense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if you want to donate to the Rico Fund, okay, you can hit up the super chat. I put that in there. That's what you're donating to today. The Rico Fund. All right. Appreciate y'all coming through. Bazel's in the house. Salute, Bazel. Appreciate you coming through. We got Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Salute. You guys streamed yesterday. You and Hinda.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Go check her out. Go check them out. Buck is in the house. Says congrats on the dub, Panthers. Absolutely.
Thank you, Buck.
Look, thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, we didn't think they're going to win. Nobody thought they're going to win. But
no, I mean, they were 14-point underdogs.
Yes.
The Packers have been playing great. The O-line is decimated with injuries. They were starting, they were missing 3 starters. They lost Damian Lewis for not for very long, but it looked catastrophic early in the game. 2 snaps in, he was out, but he came back in a bit later. But yeah, more than Rico and more than the defense, it's got to go to the O-line. As I said, they're missing Taylor Moton. He played at points. He did not start. They're missing Robert Hunt. They're missing Cade Mays, who's taken over the starting center job. And they allowed 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits to a team with Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons up front. Like they needless to say, they've been dominating in the run game all year. That's how Rico is putting up the stats that he's putting up. So the O-line has been fantastic. The defense has played, but this is what we talked about with the defense, right? You go from one of the worst ever to just a mediocre or below average defense. That's all you really need, right? Yeah. A defense that can make stops at times, that's playing hard, and it's going to keep you in a lot of games. And that's exactly what they've been doing.
Also, just the overall mentality of this team, because I heard them say it right before kickoff, how they're like, hey, look, what happened last week, that ain't bothering them. They're all locked in on winning this game. Mm-hmm. And, you hear that a lot, from players and coaches and whatnot. But they went out there and showed it today that last week they're just like, man, that was weeks ago in their mind. That was months ago. We don't remember that game.
No offense to Andy Dalton, but they know what the deal was last week.
But that's what it is. And that's why I see this team as up and down, because they're not at the point yet where they're like week in, week out, doesn't matter, if Andy Dalton's in the game, we're gonna dominate, right? They're not quite there yet, but they have a short-term memory, right? Those type of games, like you said, you knew from early on. Yes, the score looked bad, but you could tell for early on, they knew they didn't have a chance at Andy Dalton. When he started turning the ball over, they're like, all right, we see what kind of game this is going to be, man.
Well, and you also knew from early on that Buffalo is not out of their league. It's just that they had Andy Dalton out there, and they weren't able to finish off drives. They were turning the ball over and things like that. But it's not like Buffalo was, just running them off the field because they're just a better club.
Right.
That was also clear.
And we said, it would have been a much different game with Bryce in it. Now, if you look at Bryce's stats today, it didn't look good. He only had like 100 yards passing, a little over 100 yards passing, and an interception. But his command of the offense makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team rallying around him, right? They know when he's in there, they have a shot to win. And that's what it was. With Andy Dalton, they had no faith in Andy Dalton.
And Bryce makes plays when they really need him to make plays. He's the guy. And they all believe he's the guy. He believes he's the guy. And they go out there and they play like it, every week with him. What's up, Game Too Easy?
What up? What up?
So y'all lost a tough one today. Maybe a little quick trigger on fire in that veteran kicker you had. They lost due to a missed extra point, 24-23 to the Patriots.
Oh,
but you know what though? But you know what? That's your own fault. Start giving Bijan the ball a lot more often than you do, and better things will happen to you.
That almost happened to the Panthers today. They missed that extra point because your boy Rico did
a BS penalty
because he did 3 pumps instead of 2, like that Key and Peele skit.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Listen, Falcons, they're another team. They're going to be up and down, but I mean, they have a bright future.
That's
too.
all right.
What's going on, Urban? Thanks for coming through. Spirit of Justice, salute. Just Aloe in the house says, congratulations, Brodny, on a big win.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate y'all, man.
The Falcons do have a bright future. They can look forward to finishing second for many years to come. many years. So that's nice.
But no, this was unexpected. But I mean, listen, just going to halftime with the lead told you that they were like they were trying to win. We're in this game. Now they helped you out. Like they had some Jordan Love had some bad picks. Well, one of them should have been a pick. I don't know what it was Mike Jackson that dropped it.
Yeah.
That could have been a pick 6. Or at the very least, because you guys didn't score on that drive. At the very least, I had to put you in scoring range. He had a whole field in front of him. Aaron Duncan from Unnecessary Bloodness, he tweeted out, he's just like, I'm going to be sick when I see this all 22.
Yeah, no, Mike, I like Mike Jackson. He's a solid player. He's one of those guys that works real hard. He wasn't a high draft pick or anything like that, and kind of worked himself into a nice little career. Since he came over from Seattle, they traded for him, and he locked down that spot. He earned that, but he's just not the most talented guy out there. And he's gonna have to get replaced moving forward for this defense to kind of take that next step.
Yeah.
But those things happen. I mean, happened to your first round pick in his first game. He hit him dead in the chest, and he was like, I don't know what that is.
It wasn't like that though.
Get it off me, he said.
It wasn't like that.
You know what? It hit him dead in the chest.
That was almost a fair catch that he
and listen, and those are difficult. All right, because you got to take your eyes off the opposition. It's coming down. You're kind of in your own world, and it's like sometimes things can be too easy.
And I had that feeling too, because I'm like, why are you jumping for this ball? It's coming right to you. You can just, you have all the time. You can just, you can catch that thing.
When you have more time than you're used to, and it seems it's easier than it should be, you can get in your head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that didn't come back to bite you, because that was the play. I was just like, that might have sealed your chances of winning, but. Listen, man, this team is a team of fighters, and again, that reflects the coaching, that reflects your quarterback.
Yeah, I think again, Dave Canales. A lot of people said it was too early. They didn't like it, and he was, just kind of the guy who would take the job, not necessarily. But that's a home run hire for them.
I want to see, because I've been seeing them on Instagram. They do their locker room celebration after these wins, and he gets them hyped up. I can't wait to see that locker room footage of that. What's up, Suge? He says, congrats on your Dodgers. Congratulations on our Dodgers, back-to-back World Series champs.
That's right. And you know your boy is the biggest baseball fan. No, but seriously, that was a great series within the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Very dramatic stuff. Yamamoto, the Japanese pitcher they brought over, won 3 games. He came out in he had a complete game win, and he came out in game 6 and got them the win, on the road to keep the series going. And then he came in relief in game 7, one day after being the starting pitcher, and got them through a couple innings and got the win. So that's why, he was the World Series MVP. But that was never in doubt, Suge. Never in doubt.
Yeah. What's up, Jay? Jay says Canales and EJ were hooping today. Better execution from the players needs to be had going forward. Yeah,
Well, they're just in a spot where they need better players.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to have great execution regardless, but they're in a position right now with this team where they just need more talent.
Yeah, I mean, but this helps build a culture there, right? Where you don't have all the talent there, and you're not just expecting to go in there and just talent your way through everything. Like you have to actually earn everything. Everybody holds each other accountable, and then when you start to get more talent in there, they know what it is. They're falling in line because that's the culture there.
You know, I mean, and it's almost like it doesn't take years to build a culture.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not if you know what you're doing.
Now, I would love to get to a point where we don't look at Xavier Leggett as the number 2 wide receiver on the team.
He's trying, y'all.
I'm not even trying to say anything bad about him. He is trying. He's playing hard. He's made some plays, but they just need a better receiver in that spot than Xavier Leggett is right now.
Jimmy Horn. What's going on, Felipe? He says, do you see Ravens winning the division even the way the Steelers are playing? The Steelers aren't playing.
No. Do you see anything about the Baltimore goddamn Ravens on this Thunder?
Yeah.
No, man. Listen, y'all 2-5.
Hold on.
All right, 2-5. You had your own stream already this week. You have not earned the right to invade the Carolina Panthers stream.
See, you're stepping all over what I was about to say. I was about to say, listen, we'll cover that on the Ravens stream. You're getting too amped up.
Yeah, I'm talking to Felipe.
You're too amped up. All right.
I know you respect Carolina. I'm talking to Felipe.
Same thing with that guy Nitro. He said, bro, you see Steelers 4-6 turnovers. Listen,
they play. Listen. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about that. It's the only thing I'm gonna say about that. He's still Daniel Jones.
How many good teams had the Colts beaten this year?
He's still Daniel Jones. You can call him Indiana Jones if you want. He's still Daniel Dimes.
Yeah. Felipe said 3-5. Rodney.
My bad.
3-5. What?
Yeah, my bad. I forgot you got that epic win. That epic win this past week and pulled yourself to 2 games under 500. Congrats.
We're not gonna get into a whole Baltimore rant this one, but I'll say this: Minnesota might be a little tougher than we thought. Minnesota might be a little.
I didn't get to watch the game, right? But from what I read and the highlights I saw, JJ was balling a little bit. You might want to. We had to take even if he looked terrible today, it wouldn't matter. We had to take the game serious. We had to take every game serious. So. Yeah. But yes, keep pounding, Ferris. That's right. Yes, sir. This is. They almost beat the Rams. Yeah. But look, so we were counting this as a loss. All seriousness, we were counting this as a loss. Yeah.
We say, okay, they're going to dip under 500, but they'll get right back to 500 the following week. Because who are they playing next week?
The New Orleans Saints, and then they've got games Falcons after that. So that's why I said they're looking at 7-4. And listen, the Falcons are a talented team. They're kind of up and down. They're in that same kind of zone as Carolina, where they've got a lot of younger talent. They haven't really learned how to win. Of course, Carolina has, but they've been up and down a little bit. But I expect Carolina to beat Atlanta. I honestly expect that every time they line up because Bryce has owned the Falcons in his short career. So they have to be able to. You can't look past the Saints. You're not good enough to look past anybody. So they got to go out there, take their business against the Saints, and then they're on the road against the Falcons. So I fully expect them to be 7-4 rolling into San Francisco in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, so okay, we talked about this, right? This is what we talked about, B. If the Panthers are looking competitive by the trade deadline, what kind of move do you want them to make? Like, what kind of move you want to see them make for the trade deadline?
Yeah, I wanted to see them trade for Michael Carter from the Jets. We had talked about that. He's a younger corner, just to kind of add more depth and possibly to push Mike Jackson. He got traded.
He already get traded? Yeah,
he got traded already. So that's kind of off the table. Miami sounds like they're pushing hard for a first plus for Jalen Waddle. That's
a
a bit much for a guy who hasn't been a number one receiver, and probably wouldn't be in Carolina either. Maybe, but I don't think I wouldn't want them to do that. A first round pick plus for Jalen Waddle at this point. It really does still come back to that linebacker spot, and really only if they're able to get a quality starter for a day 3 pick, because off-ball linebacker is something that you can fix in free agency pretty easily. It's not, that's not it's a position where talent is abundant and the guys don't get paid a whole lot. It's not a valued position, so they can overhaul that position in free agency, in the draft, things like that. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at Mark Andrews. I really wouldn't for a day 3 pick. To kind of get that veteran tight end that you can kind of rely on more than Mitchell Evans and Jatavian Sanders. Outside of that, they can probably just stand pat. They're interested in bringing in an edge rusher, but I don't think that anything is going to come to fruition there.
Yeah. Linebacker. Yeah, I would like to see them try to make a move for a linebacker or another, like I said, wide receiver. Listen, Brian Thomas was on the market, but with Travis.
I don't. Brian Thomas. I honestly, I don't think they were ever really going to trade him.
I think they were.
I think they were. I think they were throwing a little hissy fit. All right, and they're like, I'm making calls on Brian, and nothing came of it. And like I said, now Travis is on IR.
Yeah, Travis Hunter getting hurt. I think now they're just like, we're just kidding. We're just kidding.
You know how we get.
What's going on, Antonio? He says Panthers win, Bears win. It's been a great day.
Yeah, the Bears barely won. That was crazy.
Who did they play?
They played the Bengals. They were up. They were up a couple touchdowns, and the Bengals, I guess, they scored, and they recovered the onside kick, and Joe Flacco took them right down. They scored again. They went ahead with under a minute left. I forget exactly how much time was left, but then Chicago got the ball back. Wasn't looking great. They were throwing a couple 5-6 yard passes and all that kind of stuff. And then they only had one timeout left. They're trying to get into field goal range because it's 42-41. They needed about 25-30 yards or so. Caleb Williams takes off and running, gains like 18 yards. They have to use their timeout. They're not in field goal range yet. So now at this point, they're thinking, man, we gotta get something, maybe in the middle of the field, and then run the field goal unit out there and do a rush job on the field goal. And they threw it to this dude, Williams, their tight end. He caught it, and like 3 Bengals had a hold of him, and he hulked up and ran through all 3 of them and went in for a touchdown.
Wow.
I don't know what the hell them Bengals were doing on defense. But I was saying, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yo, Trey Hendrickson's on the block now. Yeah, they ended up winning 47-42.
Man, 47-42. Listen, like that Flacco trade is everything the Bengals could have hoped for and more. You're getting everything you could have wished for from a quarterback not named Joe Burrow in his absence.
Fairy tale stuff.
Yes, he's playing great football, and you're still losing. Not only are you still losing, your defense is playing even worse.
Right. He's giving you play that you would see in a movie, and you'd be like, there's no way 40-year-old Joe Flacco that's coming over here and ripping defenses apart like this. No chance. He went for like 470 today. But yeah, and imagine this. Imagine this. As bad as they're playing, Carolina's defense last year was worse.
I know.
So yeah.
Not this year though.
Not this year.
Mm-mm. And week to week, man. Week to week, this team is going to compete, man. This win today gives them all the confidence in the world because going into Green Bay,
yeah,
and beating them.
With Bryce Young not even being 100%, if being honest, right?
Right.
You know, he missed last week due to injury. He wasn't fully healthy. Like you said, on the road where they've struggled mightily. They have not been a good road team, right? 2 touchdown underdog against one of the best teams in the league and completely shut down their offense, completely shut down their pass rush, and was able to kind of impose their will a bit in the run game. So yeah,
Yes.
it's a huge confidence boost for Carolina.
So that sets a standard too, especially coming off the loss that you came off of last week to Buffalo and bouncing back, going into Green Bay, winning this game. Everybody but that does to the locker room it's like, okay, now we get it. Now we know we have to be just 100% locked in. We can't, let a bad play here and there bring us down. We have to keep fighting,
It's funny you say that because their slogan is "Keep pounding."
Yes, keep pounding. Yes,
but just gone with that.
But this group understands that more now.
Yeah,
right. Like they can internalize that more. And listen, man, this is a playoff team. Will he win a division? I don't know, man. Tampa's pretty good.
Tampa's got 2 games against Carolina left, though.
Yes, and what I'm gonna say, yeah. So I mean, I like to see them make a move for a trade deadline to just add, just that much more talent. But even if they don't, they are moving in the right direction, and that's what a lot of people heard.
Yeah, I do want to say also, we got they kept the Carolina Reaper thing going, but in a kind of negative way. Because normally it's coaches on the hot seat getting fired because they lost to Carolina. Because how could you? But today it looks like Tucker Kraft tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for the year. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
he was having a great year,
phenomenal year. He was killing it.
I saw he got hurt too. I didn't think it was that bad though. I knew like he was hurt, right? But I wasn't thinking like ACL because it didn't look like he bent it that much.
Right.
It looked like he collided. I was like, oh, I was like, that hurts. I know that's gonna hurt, but I wasn't thinking like torn anything.
Yeah, but they haven't actually said it's a torn ACL yet. Obviously they're doing their test, but the LaFleur came out and said, doesn't look good. Guys are gonna have to step up and all that. So hopefully, he recovers quickly and he comes back next year and gets back to form. He's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch. And he was having a great season.
Yeah. What's up, Matt D? Says congrats with the win, B.
Thank you.
Big Cuzzo 410 says good job, Panthers.
That's right. Hey, listen. We all Panthers in here. Okay. I know it's rough riding that Baltimore bandwagon right now. There's plenty of room in Carolina.
Listen, man, keep this up. Panthers might have a better record than the Ravens at the end of the year.
What you mean might?
Look, you still got a tough schedule.
What you mean might?
You got a tough schedule. But read the next few games.
Let me ask you something. You think Baltimore gonna beat Green Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you have? What's your schedule looking like coming up?
So I said the next 2. Oh, so it was. The Jaguars kicker broke the NFL record. Cam Little hit a 68-yard field goal today.
Wow.
And Puka Nacua, just updating it, he came out, immediately scored a touchdown because he's Puka Nacua, and immediately is questionable to return because he's Puka Nacua.
But questionable for him means he'll be back after that half.
So Carolina, I said, they've got New Orleans and they're at Atlanta the next 2 weeks. Then they're at San Francisco and they're home for the Rams. So it had 2 really tough games with Buffalo and Green Bay. 2 less tough games with New Orleans and Atlanta.
But when we were talking about it about a week ago, we were like, man, that's a tough stretch coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you split with these 2 tough games.
I expect them to beat San Francisco. The Rams again, they're a really tough team, a really talented team. well-coached team. We'll see if Puka is healthy for that game.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him today, but that's a really good team. And then they go into their bye week because they haven't had it yet. And then they come out of their bye with a critical stretch. They've got the Saints, so that's a win. But then their last 3 games of the season, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Tampa Bay. So that's a tough way to end the year. I expect them to be, 7, 8. I expect them to have 9 wins going into that stretch. And I think the division I think will be in reach, and they're just going to have to beat Tampa twice.
Yeah.
But
we both see them
we'll see.
Yeah, Spirit of Justice. Tucker's record is no more.
Yeah, he's been erased.
Yep. Bye. Okay, it's fun while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
Jay says Icky had a game for the ages. I didn't hear Parsons' name all day. Ronnie Stanley and Rosengarten could never. Time out, Jay. Because we in fact played them last year. Played Dallas last year. And did you hear Parsons' name last year? I don't think so.
I mean,
and our win didn't come down to a field goal. I'll just put it that way.
And listen, Ronnie Stanley, prior to the injuries, was arguably the best left tackle in the league. Let's not say Ronnie could never. He could. Yeah. He may not be able to now. And let's not get all cocky on Ikem Ekwonu because we don't even know if he's going to be the left tackle next season.
Yeah, I mean, Icky has to play consistent with the rest of the year. One game isn't enough, man. Yeah. It's not enough. Like he has to show it.
But the O-line has been balling in Carolina. So, if they keep it up, then yeah.
How many players do you have injured on the O-line?
They've got
Damien Lewis got hurt today. Did he come back?
He did come back. He came back. Okay. Robert Hunt is out. Chandler Zavala left again. He got hurt in game. Cade Mays was out. Taylor Moton didn't start, but I believe he played a bit. So Brady Christensen's out for the season. So that's 5 guys who are hurt to some extent. Robert Hunt and Brady Christensen are out extended period. Like Christensen's done for the year. Robert Hunt is maybe done for the year. They're saying maybe he can get back late in the season. We'll see. But they've had a lot of injuries on that line. They've had more O-line combinations than any team in the league.
That goes to show you how well coached that unit is.
Well, and also the value of continuity when you have talented players, right? Because again, Carolina this 2 years ago, they went out and they signed Robert Hunt, they signed Damian Lewis. But this past offseason, they brought every single O-lineman back. They have the entire O-line group is the same as it was last year. So, you have that kind of continuity with talented players. You can withstand a few injuries.
Yeah, two really talented guards that you brought in, but you also had some young guys behind them, to work into that rotation.
Yeah.
That's what we've been talking about in Baltimore. Baltimore wants to get the bare minimum, and we don't even have guys to sub in and out.
Yeah. Right. Baltimore doesn't want to fill out the starting lineup, let alone spots 6 through 9.
Right. But that's very important. Like the O-line and D-line are 2 of the most important things to build when you're building a team. And that's exactly what Carolina has done.
Yeah. Because coming into this game, we fully expected, with those injuries on the O-line, fully expected Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary to terrorize Bryce Young. And it didn't happen. It did not happen.
They said it before the game. No, we came here to win. We know what kind of team we are. We know what we need to do, and we're gonna go out there and do it. And they did. They imposed their will on them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you're Ravens fans in here, great lesson to learn. Watch that game if you didn't watch it, and that's the type of football you want your team to play, right?
I don't want to take anything away from Rico Dowdle, who has been fantastic. and been just a bell cow for Carolina. He's taking carries like it's 1999 out
He
there.
played with a hurt groin, and you could see he was hurt, and he
times.
he would not come out the game.
He was limping pre-snap and everything. So I'm not taking anything away from Rico at all. But if you watch him run, don't nobody touch Rico till he's 4 or 5 yards downfield.
Right.
The O-line is killing defenses in the run game. And, maybe you could experience that too with, I don't know, who's your running back? Hall of Famer Derrick Henry. Maybe if you invested in the O-line a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Imagine what it would look like to have Derrick Henry running behind a great O-line.
Yeah, All right, let's do a quick score update from around the league. See what we got going on here. All right. 49ers beat the Giants 34-24. Chargers beat the Titans 27-20. That was a much closer game than I thought it was going to be.
Herbert, man, I don't know if he needs LASIK like Jameis, but he been throwing to the other team a lot.
How many interceptions does he have this year? Let's take a look.
I'm not sure.
Herbert. He had 16 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Yeah, he threw a pick 6 today. So take that up to 8.
Let's see. Let me see something here. Well, this isn't the most.
Tua had 10, and they were ready to run him out of
town. He has. Okay, so I mean, this isn't. Look, still a lot of football left to play, but it's not his worst year yet. His worst year, he threw 15 interceptions. Mm-hmm. He's on pace for it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, who else we got here? Let me go back.
He is getting that Roman treatment, though. He led the team in rushing today, 57 yards and a touchdown.
There you go. Vikings beat the Lions 27-24. Vikings might be a problem, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to shout out to Dan Campbell because Dan Campbell's a very good coach. I'm not going to take that from him. Obviously, they're replacing 2 very good coordinators in Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. But just a quick update for him. Jahmyr Gibbs is your best player. Give him the ball.
Yes. JJ McCarthy didn't even do anything. 14 for 25, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And he had 9 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, that sounds like he scored 3 touchdowns to me.
Correct. Okay. We got the Patriots beating the Falcons 24-23, like we discussed earlier. Steelers beat the Colts 27-20. They actually came back despite all the turnovers they had. Daniel Jones, woof. Why are you throwing the ball 50 times, Daniel Jones? 31 for 50, 342 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. 3. Jonathan Taylor, 14 carries, 45 yards.
R.I.P. to Jonathan Taylor's MVP campaign.
But this is what I was saying. Like, I mean, everybody has bad games. Even Saquon last year had didn't have like a great game every single game. Mm-hmm. So he can have a bad game.
Saquon didn't win MVP either. I'm saying as a running back, you cannot. His MVP campaign ended today.
Yeah. And listen, the Colts. Look, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for you to be the good team. Okay, we're still waiting for you to be the good team. Okay, Broncos came back and beat the Texans 18-15. It was looking shaky for a second.
Sure was.
Bears beat the Bengals 47-42. Ew.
Unbelievable, disgusting defense in that game.
The Rams are up on the Saints 27-10. Bills are up on the Chiefs 21-13. Mm-hmm. Jaguars are up on the Raiders 13-9.
It sounds as boring as I thought that game would be.
Yeah. And then tonight we got the Commanders versus Seahawks and Cardinals versus Cowboys tomorrow.
Cardinals with their brand new starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett.
No, Kyle's back.
Jacoby is starting tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah, they announced that he's starting tomorrow. And they said, Kyler might have a role, but he's still recovering. Like if he can have a role, he's fine. He's fine to play. You're just transitioning to Jacoby Brissett being your starting quarterback for the rest of the year.
They need to get fined too. I'm sick of these. I'm sick of these.
It's an unfortunate reality for an NFL franchise.
Like Kyle needs to come out and say, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. Like don't let them phase you out. You know, if you want to bench me, but I'm healthy. You know, so Steelers Colts game was wild. Yeah, I didn't see it. Arizona's a joke. Well, that's your team, Brandon.
Yeah, start rooting for somebody else.
That's your team. Okay, QT0. That's what I'm talking about. Says Panthers taking this division.
Yeah, they are. Like I say, it's coming down to that last 3 weeks. Tampa, Seattle, Tampa. I expect them to be at that point, have 9 wins at that point. And I expected they go out there and they beat Tampa in those 2 games. They take the division.
Yeah. Be the change you wish to see, says Kyler doesn't mind talking. I don't think I've heard any quotes from Kyler. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. But yeah, so look, just to recap, Panthers win 16-13 over the Packers. Big win. Big day for Rico Dowdle. Playing hurt. And that's the difference between being hurt and being injured, right? Yeah. He was hurt, but he could go, and he gave you quality snaps.
I want to see them kind of back off of Rico next week, though, a little bit.
Yeah,
be playing the Saints. Not, not to say that the Saints can't beat anybody, obviously, but let Chuba kind of get into a bit of a rhythm. Give Rico a little bit of a break because they've been leaning heavily on Rico for a while. So if they get into a situation where they're kind of in control of the game, get Chuba in there, get Trevor Etienne in there, and give Rico a little bit of a break. Let him heal up.
Hey, Felipe, I appreciate you coming through, man. And I see your questions. Here's what you need to do. Go over to our community tab. Type your questions into for submitted questions. Put your questions there because we are not going to be talking a whole lot of Ravens on this stream. This is a Panthers stream. We're reacting to Panthers beating the Packers. All right. We're going to be talking Ravens. We're going to be talking a lot of Ravens coming up on Wednesday's show. All right. We might even do a quick video if there's any news on Tuesday. All right. So don't worry. You're going to get your Ravens fix, but we talking Panthers right now.
I think you already made your move.
Maybe. So. Yeah, probably. Well, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, for those that don't know, just real quick, the Ravens did trade Jair Alexander and a 7th-round pick to the Eagles for a 6th-round pick. So just be prepared for Jair to turn back into a lockdown corner in Philly.
Well, he can get healthy over there. Like they don't need him out there to play right away because I don't think he's 100%.
Yeah.
So Kyler used to bark at his first coach consistently. I mean, I think every player gets into, not every player, but like it happens more often than we talk about. Like players get into it with the coaches.
It's no big deal. The coaches yell back and it's whatever.
Yeah. Football's an intense sport. Yeah. It's an intense sport. So, all right. Good job, Panthers. So your record now is
5-4.
5-4. Packers go to 5-2-1. Man, look at that, man. Look, this is going exactly how I thought the season would go. I said this. I said you're gonna have some games on the schedule that you're gonna surprise and win. You're gonna have some games that just you just lose because you're not quite there yet. But this team's going to have you thinking, well, man, they're not good. And the next week, they're like, oh, they can beat anybody.
Well, it's like you said though, and credit to you for calling this out at the time. They needed to play more in the preseason because imagine had they come out and beat Jacksonville and Arizona,
as they should have.
I mean, Jacksonville kind of, I don't want to say blew their doors off, but Jacksonville handled that game a bit. That one, they went out there and lost. Arizona, they came all the way back and should have won that game, but they gave it away on the first couple series, by just being undisciplined, turning the ball over, giving up cheap points early. Had they come out fully ready to go and won both those games, or even one of those games, right? Even if it was just Arizona, now you're sitting here at 6-3, looking to get to 8-3 over the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And it's one game, right? But it sounds completely different. 8-3 versus 7-4. 8-3. That's a team they're going up. They going to the playoffs. They're gonna make a run. 7-4. That's an okay team. That's an okay team. They could make it or they could not.
Because preseason, I know teams aren't taking it as seriously nowadays because you have an extra game. So they're like, hey, we're going to use the early part of the season as preseason. You can do that when you are a team that's trying to compete in the playoffs, trying to win a Super Bowl. You can't do that when you're a team that's borderline playoff team, right? Or rebuilding. You have to treat preseason a lot like a regular season game. Like you have to get those guys those meaningful snaps early on so they can hit the ground running, because teams like the Chiefs don't take the first part of the season, the early part of the season, that seriously.
Yeah.
The Ravens always come out stumbling, but so you want to be able to catch those teams off guard early on, get those wins where they're not really ramping up to 100%, kind of like what the Colts are doing.
Steal some wins early.
Yeah, I mean,
bank them because you're going to need them.
Yeah, so like you have to, you want to bank those wins. Same thing I say in the NBA. The teams that aren't that good have to take the early part of the season, that first half of the season, a lot more seriously than those teams that are going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You have to get off to a early momentum and hope that you can keep it going enough to get enough wins to sneak into the playoffs. So that's why I felt like the Panthers got it wrong. Like they should have been out there really playing the starters more, even if it was just for one game.
Because it says once Bryce gets a tight end, watch out. Well, good news, Big, because y'all can help us out with that. So trade deadline's on Tuesday. Tell Eric to call Dan. We got that. Listen, you just lost a 7th round pick. We got you. We'll send that right back to you. All right. No worries on that front.
And he would take it.
He absolutely would.
He would take it.
I just looked at the Colts schedule and
thank you, Chaos. Says great win.
Yes, thank you. You're not wrong. Denver's not a bad team, but they're not a good team.
Right.
The Chargers aren't a bad team, but they play one on half of their weeks, half of their games, right? They masquerade as one. So those are the only 2 teams they've beaten: Miami, Denver, Tennessee, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chargers, Tennessee again.
That's what I'm saying.
And they lost to the Rams and Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they did. I'm not even gonna call them fraudulent. They're doing what they need to do. They're taking advantage of coming out strong early on. They got those wins, and they're beating up on the bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what's going to push you into the playoffs. So they can take an L like this today. That doesn't mean anything. That's only the second loss. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Steelers needed to win that game. The Steelers have been playing some bad football.
They were teetering on the edge of that season spiraling out of control.
Yes.
They needed to come out and beat Indy.
Because they lost today. That means Ravens are only 1 game away.
Everybody's already telling them, hey, the Ravens are going to catch you, right? That's all they've been hearing the last 2 weeks. they didn't even have the highest percentage chance to win the division being 3 games up.
Right.
And so, they absolutely needed that. And good for them that they came out and got that done.
Yeah. They did what they needed to do. That might be the last. Wait. Before I say really good games, I'm not sure what Aaron Rodgers did, but that might be the last good game you get from Aaron Rodgers this year. All right. Aaron Rodgers, 25 for 35, 203 yards and a touchdown. Did he have no picks?
Aaron managing the hell out of that season.
Right? Yeah. He might have one more really good game in him, but that's it. He's cooked after that. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming through. 30 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. hit that subscribe button, especially for Panthers fans, man. We getting our Panthers fan base, they're getting those numbers up over here, right? So good win for y'all, man. There's a lot to be excited about for this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're finally out of you're still rebuilding, you're still adding pieces, but you're not in that initial rebuilding mode, right? You have your quarterback. You did a good job building the O-line. You have a starting potential star wide receiver in Tedero McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got 2 running backs that you can rely on. And the defense has pieces, especially on the D line. Now it's just about filling out like the secondary and the linebackers.
And
so like this hole
that
that you can
extra pick coming back next season because Jonathan Brooks going to be back in that backfield as well.
Yeah. So. And even with the holes, they're still playing cohesive football. They're playing tough football. That's what you want to see. So they're trending up.
It is a sign of a well-coached team.
Yeah.
Dave Canales is doing a great job. This is usually the end point in wins for Carolina at 5. This is the first time they've been over 500 since 2021 or 2020. So, this is their best season in a while. And looks like they're going to keep it going. Like I said, I fully expect them to be 7-4 after their next 2 games. And I think they're going to beat the 49ers as well. But we'll see.
Yeah. One game at a time. That's how they got the approach everything, man. Just one game at a time. And that's what they're doing. And I think at the end of the season, they'll be right there for a playoff push. And even if they're not in the playoffs, they're going to have a winning record, which is a big step in the right direction for this franchise.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think we can end it there. We've been going for about 45 minutes. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
This Wednesday, if you wanted to donate to the show, we are going to be collecting for the Fire Mario Cristobal Fund. Because every time Miami, want to stand up and be like, no, we good again, Mario Cristobal slaps them in the face and is like, sit down. No, you're not. I'm still your coach. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know how he keeps scamming his way into being the head coach for major college football programs. He's never won anything. Never come close to winning anything. The man lost a game where all he had to do was kneel. How do you do that?
Because he's Mario, that's why.
And I don't even blame Carson Beck. Carson Beck is who he is. They said, hey, come on down, be our starting quarterback. What's he going to say? No? Hey, go and take it, right?
Shout out to my friend Steven over on Facebook hitting the like, but I ain't seen Steven in years. Steven Edwards, man, salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through.
Carson's out there. Carson's doing his best. He's just not a very good quarterback. Mario is the one who put him in that position. I mean, think about how good the team is that they almost withstood 4 interceptions from Carson Beck in their game against Louisville. They almost came out with a win in that game.
I know.
And having gone through that, which I didn't expect them to go undefeated. It's very difficult, right? But having gone through that experience, you come out here, you get to overtime in this game, you get to the 3-yard line, your run game's working, you say, you know what? Carson, sling it. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen, Mario?
Right. Yeah.
I hope they fire his ass. Whatever. All right.
Listen,
Mario Cristobal today.
Listen, it's like we say on this show. Not every coach knows what they're doing. Not every GM knows what they're doing, or athletic director in college. Like just because they're in those positions, you think, well, they're there because they're the most talented. Because in professional sports, including college, right? You get to, as a player, you have to be the best of the best, generally speaking, right? For the most part, you have to be the best of the best. And the only way you can prove that is getting out there on the court or on the field and showing it, right? It's a merit-based sport, not for the people off the field.
No.
You don't have to be the best of the best coaches. You don't have to be the best of the best, personnel, GMs and whatnot. You just have to know the right people.
I have a question for you. Steve Sarkisian. Okay. For me, best known as an alcoholic who got fired from his job for being an alcoholic.
Yep.
But, okay, great for him that he got that taken care of. He went to rehab and all that, and he's doing better. That's fantastic. Love that. What else has he done? He took a preseason number 1 or number 2 team in Texas and got them all the way up out the rankings. And I mean, they didn't fall all the way out, but they people look at him as a bit of a joke, right? But the last week we're hearing Steve Sarkisian to the NFL talk. Why? What has he done to deserve that? It's the same thing with old boy in Washington.
Was he running back drills? Like, what's he gonna be doing in the NFL?
You know what I'm saying? Like, but the dude in Washington used to be the Cardinals head coach when they drafted Kyler. I can't remember his name.
The young guy, I forget his name. Yeah. Buck, are you still in here? What's his name?
But
did he go to Washington? He was a
Washington now. He's in Washington. But in college, he was a loser. How'd you get a head coaching job in the NFL?
Yeah,
like it makes no sense. Like I said, it's not merit based. It's just, hey, I like that guy. I'm gonna give him a shot. And Jerry Jones said as much when he was talking. Person. Yeah, Jerry Jones said as much when he was talking about the Rooney Rule. He's like, I don't hire the best people. I hire people I know.
Yep.
Like he flat out said that.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem. So don't think, and again, look, some of these coaches are excellent. So don't think we're saying they're all like this, but some of them are as bad as you would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know football. They might know it better than us because we don't, we don't have, the on the job training that they get.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Right? Cliff Kingsbury. That's who it was. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. But they're not good. They're not good. And listen, man, sometimes don't listen. You don't listen to players, former players. They're part of a fraternity. They're going to protect their own, right? Former coaches and whatnot. They're going to protect their own, and they're going to say you fans don't know what you're seeing out there. Trust your eyes. If it looks bad, it's probably bad. Okay, like when you watch the Tennessee Titans play, there's nothing complicated there. They're bad right now. Okay. Yeah. So you don't have to overthink it. When you see bad football, you know what it is. They're bad. And it could be more to the story. Oh, it's deeper than that. That's fine, but it's a results-based business. You have to win.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to go somewhere else and prove that it was multiple factors and not just you.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Thank you, Chaos. Cliff Kingsbury. Yes. All right. We're going to end the show there. Appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new here, also hit that like button. Come back here on Wednesday, possibly Tuesday. If something newsworthy drops, we might drop a quick video. But Wednesday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, the LBHT show, also our overtime show that happens right after that, which you can find on our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT show. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to the overtime show and to our Discord channel. So all well worth the price of admission. Listen, the trade deadline, whether something happens or not, is going to give us a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Because both of our teams, there are things that we would like to see happen. For the Panthers, it's not as urgent. For the Ravens, I think it is. I think they had to make a move.
They did.
Yeah.
No. Bad energy out the building.
So we'll see. All right. That is it. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
Also, go check out LBHTShow.com. Buy some merch. This isn't on there yet. I'm not showing the whole shirt yet because this is a prototype. All right. We can't reveal everything to you guys yet for what this is for, but this is something we hope you guys are excited about. But LBHTShow.com, check out the merch. Sign up for the newsletter. I haven't put it out yet, but I will. Thank you, Big Reg. That's a great show. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Reg.
All right. B is ready. We're out of here. Have a great night. and we will see you next time. Peace.